quarterbacks Roy DeWalt and Matt Dunnigan are all set, and we'll be back with the opening kickoff in just a moment.
Man in charge of this football game tonight at Commonwealth Stadium, a temperature of 10 degrees Celsius, the wind northwest 16 kilometers per hour. It's actually a gorgeous night for football here in Edmonton. The Eskimos all set to kick. Cutler from his own 45. Tulumu and Clash are the return men for BC. The kickoff is not too deep. Clash will take it near the 15-yard line. Darnell Clash gets it out to near the 30. He is the leading punt returner and kickoff return man for the BC Lions. As Roy DeWalt leads the offense onto the field. DeWalt, the number 2 passer in the Canadian Football League so far in 1980. White, David Tulumu are the running backs. And there you see the receiving corps. John Sandusky's not in the lineup tonight. He has been replaced by Ned Armour. First down, BC from their own 29-yard line. Tulumu takes the pitch from DeWalt. He's got a couple, but there's a lot of traffic defensively over on that far side of the field.
A more than adequate offensive line anchored by Al Wilson and Big John Blaine, the veterans of that unit. And I think the BC Lions will try to run that football quite a bit, at least early on in this ball game. A 3-man front is what the Eskimos will show them, at least initially.
Second down and just about 8 yards to go. Number 16, Ron Robinson, and lines up inside receiver to the left of the formation. Straight drop. Roy DeWalt, good protection, but he had to pull it down. DeWalt near first down territory at the 39-yard line, and this was something they were talking about, Jocko. Roy wasn't running with the football this year.
That's what he's got to do. In other words, let's take a look at Edmonton's linebacking corps. They got a good bunch. They got Stuart Hill and Tony Anglin on the outside, and a pair of Dannies inside, Bass and Kepler, really tough guys. Their secondary, Darryl Hall is one of the outstanding rookies in the league. Joe Holloman, the veteran corner, on the other side now. Durden Tony inside, and the outstanding rookie, Lauren Delorier, is the free safety. A good bunch.
Jocko, as you said, this is one thing I think the Lions really need to do, and that's have Roy take off with the football once in a while. It really causes problems for that defensive line and linebackers you were talking about to try and contain him. He does pick up a first down, so the Lions pick up the first down of this ball game.
Didn't look too bad in that run, considering he's got a bruised knee thanks to the game last week. DeWalt, first and 10, goes to Mervyn Fernandez, and at the 44-yard line, the ball was thrown low. DeWalt just didn't get it out there.
If he caught it, it would have been a 2nd and 7 situation anyway. But we're getting back to DeWalt. I think that sometime when these guys get back on a natural turf field, like this is such a beautiful turf out here, that they feel better than the artificial surface, especially some of those, certain of those injuries, like a turf toe. They respond better to the natural turf.
I hope it's this good 7 weeks from now for a breakup 84.
Not likely.
Second down and 10. Lions, their own 39-yard line. First possession of the ball game. DeWalt with good protection, coming back to the ball. Fernandez, he snares it for the first down as he gets the spot near the 50.
Boy, an excellent job of protection for Roy DeWalt. You'll see all of the linebackers of the Edmonton Eskimos coming in there, and they just form a perfect cup back there. Jocko, this is almost classic protection.
And the other thing that I think about classic about the play is the receiver coming back to the football, Frank. He really curled back in, he came back to the football, made the first down.
All the good ones do that, don't they?
Exactly.
Swerving Mervyn Fernandez gives the Lions first down at their 50-yard line. DeWalt looking for Ned Armour. Oh, a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch by Ned Armour in behind Joe Holloman inside the 20-yard line. A beautifully thrown football and a super catch. 42-yard gain.
Whew. Well, they've been alternating Sandusky and Armour, and the reason Armour's in the lineup is because of his great speed. Boy, what a great natural catch. That's the toughest way to make a reception, right over the top of his head. Big play for the BC Lions.
DeWalt gave it a little pumping, and the receiver took off deep. Great play.
Nothing the defender can do about that one. First down now for the Lions from the 18 over the middle. Pankratz, the intended receiver, and that hit a couple of defenders before it fell incomplete. It'll be second down and 10. DeWalt trying to hit Pankratz, working against the linebackers, but Tony may have got a piece of it.
Tony, number 6, is right with Pankratz. You can't see him in that picture, but the ball must have been deflected. I think John would have made a reception.
You know, Pankratz has averaged something like 1 touchdown every 3 or 4 games the last couple of years. He hasn't had a touchdown, his first touchdown in 1984 yet.
That's right. blitz. And he singed it. A little too far for Ned Armour in the end zone.
Oh, I tell you what, if Roy DeWalt had floated that ball rather than try to drill it in there, that was 6 points.
He had to give it that little humpback touch, didn't he, Frank?
Yeah,
he just had to touch it a little bit.
A little more air underneath it.
DeWalt heads out. The field goal unit in, led by Lou Pasaglia. This attempt will come from about the 26-yard line.
The big scoreboard here puts a big shoot up there. The Lions failed to put it in the end zone.
Out of the hole to John Pankratz. Pasaglia hits it. And the BC Lions go in front of the Edmonton Eskimos early in the first quarter. 3-0. Lions leading Edmonton. Will be back in a moment. For Kelly, he got in behind Darnell Clash. His overthrow him. I think Clash slipped on the play.
He did. He tried to give him a little bump and turn with him, and he slipped him when he did that.
There's your offensive line, names that are very familiar throughout the Canadian Football League. They've been together quite a while now. They gave Dunnigan a lot of time on that first attempt. James Parker listed as a defensive end. Of course, he's in the stand-up position, the leading sacker for the BC Lions.
Second down and 10 for the Eskimos from their 35. Dunnigan for Chris Woods. He tips it, almost picked off by Mel Bird. He, too, has slipped down on the play. Maybe that grass is a little bit slick. Lions usually playing on artificial turf.
Some good action going on in the inside, Jocko. Blanchard, number 59, on Mac Moore. Mac Moore is just on the check mark right there, and it looked like to me Blanchard just about pulled his sweater right off. Somebody reached back. No, maybe it wasn't him. I think it was Eric Upton.
Yeah.
The offensive center.
Stretch jersey.
First punt of the ball game, and Johnny Evans gets a beauty. Turns it over. Flash from his own 22-yard line. Dropped the ball and bounced right back to him. Fortunately for the Lions at the 26-yard line, Frank Balkovec is downfield quickly to put the stop on him. 53-yard punt by Johnny Evans and a return of 4. Another look at Flash. Ball popped loose, but it comes right back to him.
Bill, I think this guy, Darnell Clash, is number 1. The outstanding rookie for the BC Lions, without question. I'm sure when the Shenley nominators get together in BC, they'll put a note to that fact.
Ned Armour takes this pass from Roy DeWalt, makes a good move on Tony, and then Joe Holloman pulls him down at the 34-yard line. Pickup of about 8 yards on the play for BC. It'll be second down and 2.
Well, that's interesting. Roy DeWalt in the papers and so forth being criticized about going to Fernandez so much. He's now gone 3 times to Ned Armour in this ball game and only once to his favorite receiver. There's a look at how the receivers have fared. Fernandez obviously their leader.
Second man through is David Tulumu, number 27, and he gets it out across the 35. First down up near the 38-yard line.
Frank, you made reference to the fact that there's been some criticism leveled at Roy DeWalt for going to his wide receivers, even going to his passing game too much. I searched this morning. BC actually are passing the ball 70% of the time, running at 30. That's not too much different than Edmonton. They're passing 60% and running 40.
John Henry White, the ball carrier, and he is stopped 45-yard line for a pickup of 7 yards on the first and 10 play.
I think BC might have taken a page out of Ottawa's book. Ottawa last week had such a great impact, running the football with a guy like Timmy McRae running for 210 yards against the Edmonton defense. So maybe that's what they're going to try to establish some ground game even now.
Lions have not lost to the Eskimos since Don Matthews has been the head coach. Sam Kepley gets to Roy DeWalt. The ball came loose, but you see the referee is right there. He's ruling it an incomplete pass, saying his arm was in a throwing motion. Brings up
A little
third
bit
down.
surprising. Second down and just under 3 yards, and they try to go to the air with it once again. Edmonton has blitzed every time on second down. You know, Jocko, you're talking about running with the football. I talked to Mike Nelson, the assistant coach of the Eskimos before, and he says, well, you got to figure they're going to run. We were so bad against Ottawa against the run. And, of course, BC's been under some criticism for not running the football, so it's very natural that they're going to at least try.
Lions having to give up the football. Pasaglia's punt, not too deep. Treplin will take it on one big hop. Works up to about the 30-yard line. job by Jeff Kreplin. So the Eskimos take over after a 43-yard punt and an 8-yard return. We're in the first quarter with 8:48 remaining and a 3-0 ball game in favor of Pythagoras field goal. There you take a look at the rushing leaders in the CFL, and really it's a one-man show this year with Willard Reese.
Is it?
About doubled everybody else, hadn't he? Or
Well, his
tripled.
objective was 1,800 for the year, and the way he started out, it didn't look possible, but it certainly does now.
4 games left. They'll be in Toronto Sunday. Dunnigan wants to go for a bunch. Chris Woods cannot get to the football at the 30-yard line. Good coverage all the way down the field. Mel Bird, number 10, was with them stride for stride, and that's not easy because Woods is fast.
Hey, that ball's thrown just about another yard. I think Bird would have had an interception on it.
You can see the separation. You can see the separation on the great speed of Chris Woods there, just about the time that the ball was thrown. Here's the BC linebackers: Glenn Jackson, Tyrone Cruz, Kevin Conard. Glenn Jackson having another outstanding year. Their corners, Darnell Clash, we talked about. Melvin Bird doing a good job out there. Crawford and Andre Jones inside. Martin, the free safe. Those corners have done really a good job for BC this year.
Second down and 10 Eskimos. Dunnigan with a little roll to the left, throws into the middle to Marco Sinkar for the first down as Kevin Konar and Mel Bird team up and stop him near the 44, pick up the 14 yards.
You know, Jocko, you were talking about Glenn Jackson, but number 31, Kev Konar, is a guy that I think's had just a super year at that linebacking spot. I think he's going to be considered one of the top candidates as the Canadian of the year for the BC Lions.
Comparatively speaking, the Eskimos have done a better job offensively this year than BC, but of course on defense, BC leads the league.
Really good.
Hits to Larry Collins, got a couple of blocks.
Great fake by Dunnigan.
Into BC territory at the 51-yard line. 16-yard gain for Larry Collins.
Little magic handling football. All right.
Keep your eyes open. The coach just told me before the game they've got a couple of trick plays to keep BC honest tonight. I'm looking forward to them.
That was one.
Well, they certainly view the BC defense as an attacking and gambling type of defense. So that's not...
Trying to hit Marco Sinkar with a quick look in. The ball was thrown high. Fortunately for the Eskimos, it didn't get picked off. It's second down and 10 from the BC 51.
When you think about the BC Lion defense, we got to remember Joe Heath and Kerry Parker on the outside. Both those guys are gone. And Darnell Clash, we talked about a minute ago, Frank, outstanding rookie year. And Mel Move from the inside back to the outside. And those guys have really done more than an adequate job as corners, or you couldn't have the defensive stats they got.
Here's what Dunnigan does so well.
Pass intended for Brian Pryor. Nelson Martin draws a penalty.
Oh, what a needless penalty by Nelson Martin, number 4. Ball well overthrown. No chance at all for the reception, and Martin's going to get a roughing call.
If Martin takes a look at the ball, he's got a chance for an interception. Instead, he's kept his eyes on the receiver and a late hit called.
Well, I think it's a good call. That ball's 5 yards or 10 yards past the receiver when he makes contact with it. Costly penalty against the BC Lions with 6:24 remaining in this first quarter. The Lions lead by 3.
That was the first game of the season for the BC Lions when they won big over the Eskimos at BC Place Stadium earlier this year. First down for the Eskimos now at the BC 36. Kelly works himself open to the 10-yard line. And it's first and goal for the Eskimos.
That was a well-conceived pass pattern. The flow was all going to the right, and he came back and threw the ball out to the left. That was a good pattern on the part of Brian Kelly.
28-yard gain for Edmonton.
Man-to-man coverage. How would you like to be out there trying to cover him, Jocko? He turns you inside out no matter who you are.
That's right, and you got all that field to work also.
All the Eskimos now at the 8-yard line. Drive started from their own 30. Dunnigan for fire off his fingertips. Had a stride on Larry Crawford. Didn't squeeze the football. The Lions coming in with an 8-3 record. They had the same record at this point last year. The Eskimos are 6-5, same as they were a year ago.
And Roy DeWalt, as the quarterback for the BC Lions, has beaten the Eskimos 4 out of the last 5 trips.
It's been almost 2 years since the Eskimos have won a game over BC. It was October of 1982. It's 2nd and goal now for Edmonton. Ball at the BC 8-yard line. Penalty marker at the line of scrimmage. Dunnigan finds Dan, runs, the ball pops loose. Darnell Clash was one of the defenders there.
I believe the other. They really sandwich. Big guy runs at 6'9". Watch how he gets hit right at the goal line.
Edmonton, number 63. Declined.
Well, the penalty against the Eskimos, so with that very costly penalty against the BC Lions, the Eskimos may have to settle for 3 here. There's an isolated shot of runs going down in the end zone, trying to use that great size to advantage. 31 is Konar, the linebacker. Darnell Clash really pops him at the goal line.
The last 2 passes were really well-thrown footballs, though, weren't they? Where he touched the one off to the wide receiver, and then he comes right back and throws the ball in well. Dunnigan looks like he got a hot hand to me.
Chuckle, you know, the one thing about Dunnigan, I think the reason he's been so successful this year with the Edmonton Eskimos is he really is a master at the broken play. And whether you like it or not, the broken play is a big part of the offensive game in the Canadian Football League. You have to convert those from time to time to sustain your drives because of the 2-down situation. He does it really well. Watch Clash's hit. Runs, of course, concentrating on the football. Looked like the ball had really slipped away from his possession prior to the contact, but he made sure he didn't get it back.
He kind of let the ball get to his body a little bit too much. He should have been reaching out to get the good hands on the football.
6'9", 249 pounds. That's a lot of target.
He must have long arms. Should be reaching out there, Frank. He must have 43 sleeves on his shirt there.
So Dunnigan will now hold as Dave Cutler will try to tie it up. Cutler's not had a banner year kicking field goals. He's 12 out of 24, make that 13 out of 25 now. And we have a tie ball game with 5:05 remaining in the first quarter. Lions and Eskimos, 3 each. We'll be back in a moment. Well, the Eskimos moved 73 yards. You see the 6 passing plays, 1 rushing play. Add in there 1 big penalty against the Lions. Cutler tied it up. 3-3. The BC Lions now 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line.
See how quickly they go away from trying to run that football back there.
DeWalt looking deep for Fernandez, and he got over there to knock the ball away from Darrell Hall, who was in good shape, possibly pick it off.
I wanted to talk for just a second, like, there's been 3 outstanding corners come into the league, especially all in the West, all playing the defensive left corner, which is the toughest position to play probably on the field. Darrell Hall here tonight, and we're watching Darnell Clash from the BC Lions playing at left corner, and then Mel Jenkins from Calgary. Those 3 guys playing at left corner, they are really outstanding rookies. They all have returnability also, and it's just good to see those kind of players come into the league.
Yeah, and what is termed by a lot of people the toughest defensive spot of all, right?
No kid.
2nd down and 10 from the 35. DeWalt down the middle to Robinson. He's got him. 75 yards. There are no flags on the play. The Lions go back in front.
And of course, Freddie Fleming, our ISO director, has an isolated shot of that for you. Robinson almost stumbles and falls after making the reception. But what a great throw also by Roy DeWalt. Just a little post pattern here, not a lot of faking. Just runs right by Durden, number 17, and a perfectly thrown football.
Gets a good block from Pankratz here to knock Durden out of the play. Tony looked like he might have a shot at him, but Robinson legs it in. 75-yard score. His 3rd touchdown of the season.
That'll put the knockers back in their seats. What do you say? They throw long too much?
Saglia converts the touchdown by Robinson, and the BC Lions go out in front of the Edmonton Eskimos 10-3. We'll be back with more first quarter action in a moment. Lions line to get back in front. 75-yard scoring play. Robinson from DeWalt
complaints about the Lions offensively that their inside receivers are not getting that much use. Certainly Robinson disproved that theory right there. Not great speed, but he got behind Durden easily.
Here's the BC kickoff. Milson Jones on the return. Jones comes in field and has a good one out to about the 38-39-yard line. Good run back by Milson Jones, a 35-yard return. David Taluma making the tackle for the Lions.
Brought down by Don Taylor with a 61-yard kick to 35.
You know, we were talking yesterday, Jocko, as you look at this run back again, that the Lions really don't control the football on you offensively, but they have that big play offense, and when it's working, they're really tough.
Well, Ronnie Robinson's one of those long striding inside receivers, and he's just a perfect position for him, one of those inside slots. He just fools you with his speed. That's kind of a guy.
Larry Collins got back to the line of scrimmage, may have picked up about half a yard on the play. Mac Moore was there along with James Parker. Second down and almost a full 10 yards to go. Very little running room for Larry Cowan on first down.
Brought down by Mac Moore. Okay.
Chris Woods is split wide to the left. Brian Kelly, the wide receiver, to the right side. Is second down. And passing situation for the Eskimos. Coming inside, Brian Kelly. He bobbled it momentarily, and Larry Crawford timed his hit perfectly. He had no chance to really squeeze the football.
Well, even had Brian made this reception, he did not have a first down because Crawford was right there with him. Good man coverage. You see Crawford coming up to work against the little receiver of the Eskimos who set so many records.
They played a two-deep zone with the six-man covered underneath on that one.
Boy, second big punt of the first quarter by Johnny Evans back to the 10-yard line. Darnell Clash, and he has hit it at 20. Laurent Delorier down there. 61-yard punt by Johnny Evans and a return of 11. Coming into the ball game, Evans ranked 9th in punting average in the league, and he's hit 153 and now 161.
We were talking about advantages to one club or another. I just thought that their kicking game in the foot of Lou Pasaglia, kicking and punting had the great edge over Cutler and Johnny Evans in their field goal kicking and punting, but not so right now. It's even seen it in the field goal kicking 3 up.
And they held the return to 11 yards, so that's a 50-yard net.
Oh, wide open.
Fernandez, and nobody was near him. Puts a little move on Joe Holloman, got another 5 yards out of it.
I think Joe actually was a little bit afraid of Merv's great speed right there and turned around to get some greater depth, and Merv just cut that pattern off beautifully.
Did he give him a cushion?
Only about 15 yards.
22 yards to gain.
You might be able to see just how wide open Merv is from this angle.
But most importantly, DeWalt found him.
First down, BC from the 44. Pankratz, the intended receiver, got one hand on it. And then it fell out of bounds. It'll be second down and 10.
Good to see DeWalt using some of his foot skills, Frank. That's what's made him such a dynamite performer in the past. When he does that, he just creates a lot of openings for himself.
You know, the other thing he did very well there, Jocko, I thought, was he sat in the pocket. You know, he didn't have the nervous feet, which we've seen him have from time to time. He eventually had to get out of there because the pressure came, but at least for the first few seconds, he looked very solid in that pocket.
Well, when you got the deep receivers like he's got, I think he has great confidence throwing the ball from this point on.
Leaving a couple backs in there to help on those blitzes now.
He just gunned this one to Fernandez for a first down at the Edmonton 54-yard line. Darrell Hall was there to make the stop. It's a pickup of 12. When he wants to, he can put a lot of zip on that football.
The Lions got a pretty good spot on that one. Watch this. Over midfield. Watching him throw in practice, Jocko, the ball he throws looks very unusual. It seems like the nose is always down on the football. I would think it'd be a little more difficult to catch than some of the quarterbacks' passes.
He gets a pretty high release on it, but you're right. It comes on it just seems like it just keeps diving.
Fernandez out of the game for at least one play. Jacques Chapdelaine, number 71, is now in as a wide receiver. He's split off wide to the left side. First down, Lions, and he wants to go deep
about great newcomers coming into this league, Jocko. What about Stu Hill? He has just put outstanding pressure all year long on opposing quarterbacks.
He made it possible to trade a guy, a great player like Quick Parker, James Quick Parker, and then they picked up a guy like Leo Delorier and young Frank Falkovich. So that was a good trade for both clubs, but you're right about Stuart Hill has been just superb all year long.
Roy DeWalt is now the #2 passer on the Lions all-time list for completions and total yards. He's passed Joe Powell in a couple of those categories this year. But the all-time leader, Joe Kapp, and he's a long way from those totals. Second down and 10, coming inside Fernandez, got a block from Robinson, but he won't get a first down, or maybe he will. He got to the 45-yard line as he slipped a tackle from Holloman.
You gave up on him a little too quick.
I did. Did no better than that. He's going to be about a yard and a half short of the first down.
He's a strong guy.
Well, that's the amazing thing about Fernandez. Not just his great speed and jumping ability, but he really can move for a big guy with that football once he gets in the open field.
Well, here we have a third down and short yardage situation. Tim Cowan does not come into the ball game. And
Third down and 1.
most of the time this year, it's been Cowan to come in with a quarterback sneak this. Walt will give it to Lumu, and he should have enough for the first down. It looks like he'll get the ball spotted just inside the 43-yard line. It is the first.
Frank, you were talking about matchups before. You know, you got one of the real veterans in the CFL as a center, Al Wilson, going against the rookie nose tackle, John Mandrich. It's kind of an interesting thing. Just to see an old veteran like them did a good job. He blew the rookie off the ball there, pick up the critical first down.
Once in a while, he gets a shot at the Edmonton, a great veteran too, though, Dan Kepley. That's a good matchup.
That's all right.
This should be the last play of the first quarter. Walt inside to John Henry White. There's a penalty marker down right at the 40-yard line where White was tackled by Tony Anglin. It's a holding call against the Lions.
Well, Anglin playing that soft linebacker position there, picked up that middle screen right away. That could have been a big play for the Lions. Kepley coming on the blitz that time.
The gain by White was only 3 yards, but the Eskimos will take the penalty and push them back.
You'll see how that play
Holding
developed.
DC number 68.
As you see,
Second ever
Kepley
team.
removing himself from that middle linebacking spot. It's a good thing Anglin did have a soft responsibility. You'll see him coming over to the inside. He reads Al Wilson, number 52, the center. Comes right over to make that stop. Penalty, however, against the Lions.
Well, we got one more play before the end of the opening quarter. The Walt just didn't get it to John Henry White. He's got in behind Danny Bass, but the Walt was backpedaling and didn't get enough on it. And the gun sounds to end the first quarter. So it's Don Matthews, BC Lions, leading Jackie Parker's Edmonton Eskimos 10-3 at the end of the first quarter. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a moment. Look at the total yardage, passing yards for BC, 179. 75 of those yards came on the one play for the touchdown to Walt to Ron Robinson. That's the way they look after first quarter. BC Lions fans here at Commonwealth Stadium with in the neighborhood of 47,000 fans. Second down and 20 for BC. John Henry White out in the flat is tackled at the line of scrimmage. Good job defensively for the Eskimos by Dan Kepley.
Well, on second and 20, you'll give him that kind of pattern, won't you?
Oh,
Got to throw the ball downfield.
I was surprised that's where he went with football that time. I'll tell you, two former BC Lions staff members that are really rooting for the Lions hard and for different reasons tonight are Steve Barato and the head Calgary coach, and then the head coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. They want to stay in the chase. If the Lions can get the Eskimos tonight, then they're still really in the playoff race.
Bagley and punting on 3rd and 20, and Jeff Treplin, number 2, takes it at the 10-yard line. Penalty marker comes down, may have an illegal block up around the 15-yard line. 42-yard punt. And a return by Jeff Treplin, about 2 yards. But there was a penalty flag thrown. Laurent Delorier, possibly.
I believe he was guilty of blocking from the rear.
Illegal block. Edmonton, number 13, 16.
No, I don't think the quarterback was out there.
I think that was on the field.
It was a red, I'm sure. There it is, right there.
On Andre Jones.
Not much question about that.
This is where the Eskimos have to be awful careful coming out of their own end here, because the Lions can really jump a pass here. This will be tough.
First down from the 6. Dunnigan quickly. Comes inside to Brian Kelly for a big gain out to the 35-yard line. That's a quick way of getting out of the hole.
That was beautiful. A beautifully thrown football, and give it to Brian Kelly. Picked up 30 yards on that one.
And 29 yards. It'll be first and 10. After the ball on the roll.
Darnell Flash had slipped down again, Jocko.
That's the third time their corners have slipped and fallen tonight.
Eskimos are out at the 35. Neil Lumsden taking the handoff from Dunnigan, and he has yard. That's about it. Jackson in on the tackle.
Sometimes you talk about the running game. Sometimes it seems just like a waste of effort, like that one there. Then it's just like, hey, let's throw another one down the field. We got some guys that can gun it and catch it.
Second down and 8. Evidence.
Kelly off to a fabulous start in the first half of the season.
Had 12 touchdowns in the first 7 games. He's only had 2 in the last 4 games. Blitz was on. They picked it up. Dunnigan now on the run. Finally knocked out of bounds by James Parker, and he'll lose near 10 yards on the play.
Bill, I didn't pick up who that blitz was, but I think it was a defensive back. You'll see him right here. We'll see if we can pick up the number. A great job of picking him up right there by the Eskimos. But he still manages to get Dunnigan out of that pocket. Well, I'm not sure. Maybe that was Kev Conar.
Here's the punt by Johnny Evans. Powering punt. Great hang time. Gave the coverage team good time to get downfield and cover it. 42-yard punt that time. And the BC Lions lead it 10-3 over the Eskimos. Mel Bird on the return brought it back 6. We'll be back in just a moment. 6-3, and so far tonight, Johnny Evans has been out punting Louis Pasaglia by a pretty good margin. Evans is averaging 52 yards a punt tonight. That's almost 10 full yards above his season average. Pasaglia is down at 42.5 as you look at head coach Jack Parker of the Eskimos. And right now the Lions have the ball. First and 10 from their own 44. We're in the second quarter, 12 and a half minutes left until the half. This is John Pancras making a good move to get outside, pick up the first down at midfield. 11-yard gain for Pancras.
You know, we just saw a stat up there a minute ago, something like 7 completions for 180 yards. You know that they're really throwing the ball deeply with great success, and that really makes those defensive linebackers really lay off there. A pattern like that normally goes for 5 yards picks up 11. That's the difference right now when you're getting the ball downfield with your passing game.
Roy Shivers there, the special teams coach of the Lions. His troops. Wide open Fernandez. Made an adjustment, couldn't get to it. The ball was thrown outside. Would have been out of bounds anyway, but made a tremendous effort to get to that football.
Well, he was open, too. If that ball would have been thrown inside the playing field another yard or two, it would have been yet another reception for Fernandez. Delorian coming over from that safety spot. No way he's going to cover a wide receiver like that with Fernandez type speed. Swervin Mervin, a big fan favorite in the BC place under the dome, and rightly so.
Second down and 10 from midfield. Looking for Fernandez, working against Hall. Big ball by Delorier, the rookie from UBC. Now ties his teammate Darrell Hall to the interception lead on this flood with his 7th of the year. Delorier, one of 4 brothers to play for the UBC Thunderbirds, and what a rookie season he is having.
One of the reasons he got this interception was the great effort by Fernandez trying to make the reception on this ball. Good defense by the Eskimos. Darrell Hall, number 24, that is right with Fernandez. First turnover this football game.
First down Eskimos at their 40. The pitch back to the Larry Collin. A penalty marker comes down. Brian Fryer may be called for holding. He was trying to throw a block for Cowan upfield, but the official caught him.
Just a little quick option play out there.
Here's another look at the tip football. Went for the interception.
came off of Fernandez.
Edmonton number 77.
You're
First down
absolutely right,
repeated.
Dale. The penalty against Fryer now will move the Eskimos back inside their own 30-yard line. There's 11 minutes remaining in this first half. We have a 10-3 lead by the BC Lions.
On a 75-yard touchdown to Walt to Ron Robinson in the first quarter. Zagley and Cutler each have a field goal. First down and 20 now. The Eskimos backed up to their 30-yard line. Penalty marker down on the far side of the field. Donovan in trouble. Gets away from Parker thanks to a block from Leo Blanchard. Gets it to Larry Cowan, and he got back almost to the original line of scrimmage at the 40.
Oh, as a coach, you're just about ready to have a heart attack when you see your quarterback running all over like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, starting out, Jocko, I thought James Parker just did a fantastic job of keeping containment. Watch him take that outside route, trying to keep Dunnigan to the inside. And then see what happens. Matt uses his great ability. See how he's going to the outside, not letting the quarterback away from him, but Matt uses his own great running ability to finally scramble outside. Once again, though, the play will be called back. A penalty against Edmonton.
Edmonton number 62. First down repeated.
Bill Stevenson called for procedure. So that puts the ball at the Eskimo 25-yard line, and it's still first down and 25 yards to go.
Tell you, when you can get away from James Parker, you got a little running skill. There's Big Billy. Down about 40 pounds this year, but still listed at 280.
You think those big guys don't like this cool weather, huh? Oh, they love it.
Billy told me before the game he was wishing it was 35 below. He said, we've got these guys outside their dome.
From the dome to the igloo.
Over the middle, Brian Fryer. The pass was a little bit high, but certainly appeared to be a catchable football, and goes off his hands for an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 25 from the 25.
Pressure by Kevin Konar, but you know, he gets in there a little bit too quickly. He tips that blitz to Matt Dunnigan, and Dunnigan knows he's got to get rid of that football very quickly. He turns around and dumps it right off. Unfortunately for the Eskimos, it's incomplete, and 2nd and 25. Now they face.
So Fryer, who didn't catch that one and was penalized a couple of plays earlier, is out of the ball game, replaced by Dan Runge for this 2nd and 25 play. Marco Sinkar and Chris Woods were both in the area, along with defenders Mel Bird and Andre Jones. It goes incomplete. The punting unit comes on.
There was a broken offensive pattern there. Having two guys in the same spot like that, almost colliding. Let's see if Evans can get that 50-yard punt again with about a 5-second hang time is what he's been doing.
It's up there.
Yeah. Beautiful.
40-yard line. This is Mel Bird on the return. Decides to go upfield with it. Gets to about the 43 or the 44. A kick of 45 yards, a return of 4 yards. 7-point lead for the Lions over the Eskimos. We'll be right back. 9-year veteran linebacker Glenn Jackson at the BC bench now as the defense has done its job, helped up by a couple of penalties against the Eskimo offense, and so it's BC's ball. As again, you see Roy Shivers, the special teams coach. Ed Jones he was talking about. It's first down for the Lions up near their 44-yard line. They lead it 10-3. We're in the second quarter, 9.5 minutes left. Well, Walt with good protection, couldn't find anybody open downfield, and then just took the football out to John Henry White. Stu Hill finally got to the wall.
Eventually, that number 36 is going to show up.
A lot of similarities between Stuart Hill, number 36, and then Quick Parker, number 40 for the BC line. Those guys are just outstanding football. It's fun to watch those kind of guys play.
2nd down and 10. The ball on their own, 43.
Offensive line coach Paul Boudreau on the Eskimo side of the field. With Bill Stevenson, Mike Pache, Neil Lumsden also in the picture. 2nd down and 10, BC. Walt forced out of there now. Throws behind Fernandez. Tell you what, that Darryl Hall is doing a pretty good job on Fernandez in the first half here.
And I'll tell you, the Edmonton Eskimos in the last 2 series have not blitzed on second down and passing situations, and yet they're getting good pressure against the BC quarterback.
They just get that Stuart Hill and those 3 down linemen, and they come out and give a good job. They play 6-man coverage underneath and 2 deep on the zone coverage. They've done that many, many times now on second down and do an excellent job on it.
2 guys on Hill, you can see at the bottom of your screen, yet he still pressured the wall out of that pocket.
Sagler ready to punt. Stu Hill had pressure up the middle, and I'm not sure if he got a piece of that or not. And Jeff Treflin watches it roll out of bounds at the Eskimo 28-yard line. We have 8:39 in the second quarter left to play. 39-yard punt. Yesterday in the CFL, coming up at halftime. This gentleman, you may also remember, probably for being one-time general manager of the BC Lions.
You got me, Dale. I'll have to think about that one.
From Kelowna.
Oh, yeah. He's not a Paisan, too, is he?
Oh, yeah.
It's been done again to Larry Cowan, and a good tackle by Kevin Konar after a pickup of about 4 yards.
Down by Kevin Konar.
Number 31 making the tackle on number 31.
Just an outstanding year, as I've said before, by Kevin Konar so far in 84. You see that great pursuit coming to the side. 5-yard gain for the Eskimos. Great defensive effort so far for the BC Lions, a team that's only allowed 195 points so far this year, by far the best in the CFL.
Parker with pressure. Dunnigan got away from him. Mac Moore. Dunnigan gets away from Moore. Throws to Chris Woods, and a great play by Mel Bird to knock it down.
Did we talk about, Jocko, the broken play? Matt almost converted another one. Just that great ability to avoid the rush. This really helps your offensive lineman when you can dodge the first couple of guys that come in there.
I'll tell you what, if you hadn't been a great quarterback like Jackie Parker, you'd have heart attacks there if your quarterback did it. But that's what Jackie did, too. So
well, that's
he
right.
can understand those things. But, whew.
Here's the punt by Evans. Short kick. Mel Bird from the 40-yard line, and he squirms his way up across the 45 to about the 47. 34-yard punt, 7-yard return. Lions up in front of the Eskimos, 10-3. We'll be back in a moment.
BC Lions, Rick, you're getting the real workout, chasing Dunnigan around. I guess the idea is to contain. Don't let him get outside.
Yeah, you can't really go for him. We're just trying to keep him in the pocket. And this offense gets big plays when he scrambles around and throws the ball downfield. So you can't really go at him too aggressively.
What do you say about some of the criticism you guys are getting? You're in second place, and yet you're being criticized in some quarters.
Well, we're 8-3 right now. We had a couple bad games, and hope we'll get on track tonight.
Okay.
First down, BC Lions from their own 47. Off play did not work. John Manderis, number 75, the rookie from Kent State, who was brought into camp as an offensive lineman, now the starting nose guard for the Eskimos. Made the tackle.
I was talking with Bud Riley this afternoon. He just feels that as a rookie, he's just been outstanding. There's nothing but great things coming from this guy. Because he is one of those guys that's been unselfish, tough football.
Kaluma, the ball carrier. They lost a couple. 2nd and 12. Pressure on the wall. Did not got him. Conrad Coy, number 98, playing his 3rd game for the Eskimos. And I believe that's his first sack. Joining this Edmonton club, a loss of 8 yards. Conrad Coy out of Northeastern. He's 6'4", 260.
Small school outside of Boston. Good little hockey school.
Well, both of the offenses have slowed down considerably after almost a 200-yard production in the first quarter by the BC Lions.
Nice high kick by Pasaglia. Chris Woods from the 25-yard line. And he gets it out to about the 32-33 after a 54-yard punt. Bernie Blair making the tackle, an 8-yard return. So Pasaglia is now hitting some big ones for BC. I just want to remind you the next CFL telecast on CTV is coming up 1 week from tomorrow. That's Saturday, October 6th. The Argonauts We're at BC Place to take on the Lions. Note the start time, 10 o'clock Eastern. We want to remind fans out in Vancouver that that game is certainly not a sellout. And before the game, they'll be honoring some former Lions who have been inducted into the CFL Hall of Fame. We'll give you their names in just a moment. We'll watch Dunnigan go to work here on first down and 10. And wide open in the middle was Brian Fryer for a first out of the 52-yard line. 19-yard pickup. Tom Brown, Joe Camp, Willie Fleming, By Bailey, Norm Fieldgate, Anna Stukas, and past President Harry Spring will all be honored by the BC Lions prior to that game against the Argos next week.
This is a problem when you have the linebackers trying to cover this deep. You can see Fryer finding a hole between Konar and Jackson. He's back there with a deep hook pattern and a big first down for the Eskimos.
Penalty markers, the ball tipped at the line of scrimmage by Ron Churkus, the defensive tackle, number 66.
Holding on the Eskimos.
Just to get back to the BC Lions, both home games in October. They got Toronto on the 6th and then Winnipeg on the 27th. Bob Ackles, the general manager, wanted me to remind fans in Vancouver that neither one of those games are sold out at this point. There's still plenty of seats available.
Well, I bet they will be, or awful close to it by the time game time comes around.
Holding, Edmonton number 63. Down repeat.
Holding is the call against the Eskimos. It'll be first down over.
Put you, the left offensive tackle guilty there. The Eskimos have hurt themselves quite a bit in the second quarter.
Healing themselves a bit from great field position anyway.
Brian Kelly coming inside and got wide open again, and he has what appears to be a first down as he gets to the BC 47-yard line. Kevin Konar made the tackle.
Dale, I want to show you an example of just absolutely great hustle. Here is Konar right in the middle of the linebacking spot. He actually comes on a blitz here, is stopped. He's number 31. See him right there. Right there. And yet he gets all the way back downfield to help out on the tackle. Now that's hustling.
He makes the tackle.
Stop on Brian Kelly, but it's a first down for the Eskimos. There's another penalty marker at the line of scrimmage. Dunnigan in trouble this time. Spun out of the grasp of 2 or 3 of the Lions and threw the ball. Now, are they calling him for throwing it away?
Oh, I think what referee Ross Perrier is going to say is he was in the grasp. However, there is another penalty down at the line of scrimmage. You've got to protect the quarterback, and that rule, of course, is for that purpose, and I think they're going to call him down right there.
Intentional grounding. 6
No. Good call him for intentional grounding. I'm not sure there was another flag on the field as well.
I did too.
Yeah, at the line of scrimmage, the referee just picked it up.
I guess that was dropped.
Maybe they both saw the same thing from different angles. They just give it this. But I'll tell you, Edmonton has been beating themselves from good field position, at least a chance to get in and pick up 3, you know. Be interested to see if they can come out of this again. Look for him to go to Brian Kelly again.
Second down and 20. Dunnigan, and he is caught. There's another penalty flag upfield.
I think it's going to possibly be interference against the Lions. They're really beating on some of those receivers downfield. Marco Sinkar was really knocked down downfield. I think that's what the call is going to be.
Yeah, defensive holding.
Dunnigan being stopped at the 50-yard line.
Holding. BC number 1. Second down repeated.
Clash. Guilty on the play.
Have a look at it.
Again, Fred Fleming has it for you. Darnell, top of your screen, number 1. Working against Brian, and he puts an arm around the waist just a little while. I'll tell you, on the other side of the field, Sinkar went right down. I mean, they pummeled him down at about 10 yards from the line of scrimmage.
So far in this drive for the Eskimos, 5 plays, 3 penalties. Eric Upton is the injured Eskimo.
He wanted to get the ball to Brian Kelly, but there's no way on that tackle that he could get downfield in position to catch the football.
Hamilton Tiger Cats have the bye this weekend, but of course they have a player coming into camp by the name of Paul Bennett, who they have claimed on waivers, and Paul, of course, too good a football player to be out of work very long, and ironically, the first game the Tiger Cats will play with Bennett, I suppose, will be against the Eskimos coming up a week from Sunday.
Paul, of course, was the property of the Eskimos, as I'm sure fans across the country will remember, but he didn't come within 1,000 miles of this town.
That's the rest of the action this weekend in the Canadian Football League. Stampeders hosting the Concords tomorrow night in McMahon, 7 o'clock start, then a couple more on Sunday. Division leaders go at it in Toronto. The Argos against the Blue Bombers. And then a couple of clubs who really need wins badly at Taylor Field. Saskatchewan hosting Ottawa. And a question mark of who the starting quarterbacks are going to be in that game. So Paw with a bit of an injury. Homer Jordan could start for Saskatchewan. J.C. Watts not playing as well as people think he should be playing. And Joe Adams might get a start. Second down for the Eskimos. 10 yards to go from the BC 48. Dunnigan slipped and went down right at the 46-yard line. Picked up maybe 2 yards on the play.
Matt Dunnigan. Down by Mac Moore.
Dunnigan was going to take a swing at Mac Moore on that mismatch, wasn't it?
Dermott had to come in at center there, which you're always concerned about when a guy comes off the bench a little cold, the exchange with the quarterback, but that was all right. The problem was he couldn't find an open receiver. 3:21 remaining now in the first half of this ball game.
You see Evans' average up over 47 yards tonight. Coming in, he had the 9th best average in the league at 43.6. Mel Bird on this return, he just gets out of bounds with it at about the 12-yard line with 3:09 left in the second quarter. A 45-yard punt and a return of 12. There's a penalty marker down up at the 35-yard line, and Johnny Evans is indicating holding against the BC Lions.
Holding BC number 32. First down.
Following the game tonight, of course, the Cardinal Chief Sports offensive and defensive game stars had one huge offensive play here in the ball game. That was a 75-yard score to Walter Ron Robinson.
How would you like to be scrimmaging a ball from there?
With the score, BC 10 and Edmonton 3. We'll be back in just a moment. Birding on the far side of the field. Right now, the Lions are first down from their own 1-yard line.
Which I really don't understand. Well, I thought the penalty would be half the distance, but they put him back at the 1.
Wall in the end zone finds Robinson open. Spun away from Darrell Hall, got out to near the 10 for a pickup of close to 9 yards.
Good play by Roy. Under a lot of pressure and found his second or third receiver in Robinson, and he got it out very close to the 10-yard line.
Well, that takes something to throw the ball in there like he did. He's going one way and come back and throw the other way to his second, like you were saying, second, maybe his third option receiver there.
Short yardage offense now moving in. A very critical first down for the Lions to try to pick up.
Second down and close to a yard and a half. Early movement. Flags go down.
I'd say Edmonton was offside.
Tried to spin outside. Joe Holloman was there to drive him back.
It looked like the Eskimos were offside. Whether or not they were drawn off, it does not appear so. So the Lions will get their first down out to the 15.
Got to give them the yard on the deep.
That is a bad place.
Edmonton.
Yeah.
Lions picked up 8 first downs in the opening quarter. And that one, thanks to the penalty, is only their second here in this second quarter. From the 15-yard line, DeWalt on first down, going deep for Fernandez. And way over his head and over the head of the defender, Laurent Delorier, who had moved over from the safety spot to help Joe Holloman out.
I mentioned that the Eskimos are not blitzing as much as they had been, but they do come this time. Dan Kepley coming over to the left side of the offense, but the Lions pick it up extremely well. You know that in all likelihood it's man coverage down deep, and they did have a little help on Fernandez. You see Kepley, number 42 again, coming in there.
Delorier, the free safety, came all the way over and doubled up. Took the inside away from Mervyn Fernandez running a deep post back.
Jackie Parker, the man they call the legend. That's not in his own mind. That's in everybody's mind. 2
2.5 minutes left in the second quarter. DeWalt on second down and 10. And he finds Pankratz open, and he takes it out to the 39-yard line for a first down, BC. Durden making the tackle, number 17, a 24-yard gain.
Well, when you can come out of that area of your field from the 1-yard line and make it move the ball 37 or 8 yards downfield already, that's a heck of a good offense. In other words, you come under a lot of criticism, but they have moved the ball when they have to move the football.
Yeah, this is only the beginning, but they're trying to put together a 109-yard drive.
Pankratz is open in the middle. He's got the ball. First down and more. Cut from behind by Danny Bass. There are a couple of flags down. They'll bring it back.
Holding against the Lions.
White's on a 24-yard gain.
Get downfield too fast.
Another Edmonton Eskimo down on the field.
Holding, BC number 68. First down repeated.
John Blaine, the left offensive tackle.
Big John, 280 pounds. Let's take a look at it. I didn't see the holding, but number 68 was the man they said was guilty. Well, I guess he was holding, but no worse than a lot of other folks.
He pulled him in instead of pushing him off. Pushed him off.
I got to defend those offensive linemen. One was
right.
pushing them off, Jocko.
Mandarich, the nose guard, injured ball player. 24-year-old rookie. Let's go to Al.
While we're waiting, let's talk to Kevin Konar for a second. Kevin, if you don't mind turning around a little bit, tell me about this situation. I know that you probably went in getting the idea. You had to keep a lot of heat on Mr. Dunning, eh?
Yeah, we're still doing that. He's giving us the problems, though. We get the initial heat, but we don't make the tackle on him, and he rolls around, and it's real hard to bring down in the open field.
Kevin, on the other side of the ball, Roy's throwing it awfully well tonight.
Yeah, our offense playing real well. They just got to keep it up, and we'll be okay.
That pass intended for Fernandez. Good move by Joe Holloman in the corner. Second down and 10, second down 20 coming up.
Again, talking with Bud Riley, the defensive coordinator of the Eskimos, said they moved. Joe Holland played well for many, many years on the left corner, moved them over to the right side to make room for Darryl Hall on the left corner. He said, hey, Joe, you can hang on longer over there in that right corner. Not quite as busy a spot. He's a little reluctant to make the move, but has made the move and has made the adjustment extremely well.
Deep down the middle, Robinson was bumped, and the penalty flag comes down. Cliff Tony bumped him just before the ball got there.
Well, Tony may not have meant to do that, but he definitely jarred the receiver. A 32-yard pickup for the Lions, and more importantly, got them out of a 2nd and 20 situation. Well, you like to see these if you're the head coach of the BC Lions.
Pass interference, Edmonton number 6. First down. A lot of great things can happen when you got those good speed receivers that can get down the field, and you got a quarterback that can get the ball down the field to him. That's the Los Angeles Raiders' offensive philosophy from day one. Get the ball down the field, and it's a good scheme.
Here they come, both blitzing linebackers, and they're picked up.
Coming inside, Mervin Fernandez, and he got a couple of strides on Hall. The rookie corner recovered, though, and made the tackle inside the 30-yard line, a pickup of 20 yards. Fernandez.
The guy you talked about, Hall's got to have some pretty good speed, Jocko, to keep up with Merv after he makes this reception. He's just kind of loping down and turning to the inside. Really turns the burners on once he makes a reception. The Lions, don't forget, started this drive at their own 1-yard line.
Walt throws this one to Ron Robinson, and he steps out of bounds with it. Helped out by Tony Anglin, number 41.
Gain will be about a yard.
That's about it. Ron Robinson came into the league with Calgary, Saskatchewan. Started this year with Montreal. They let him go, and the Lions brought him in. Fernandez. His picked up 74 yards so far tonight to go over the 1,000-yard mark in receiving.
Another 1,000-yard member, of course, is Willard Reeves of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, as you saw earlier in our graphics, leading the entire Canadian Football League by quite a margin in his rushing attempts.
Going to see two good young backs Sunday afternoon at the Saskatchewan-Ottawa game. I really like Craig Ellis is a good complete back, and he's doing a heck of a job there with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And then Tim McRae has just been outstanding. I just really like that guy. Wow. Looks like Fernandez might have got kicked there, you know, and maybe that's why he's down and out there for a while.
Well, it's a tough time to lose them right here because you're second with them 8 at their 27-yard line at the Eskimos. Merv, I'm sure, will not be out for long.
There you see where the Eskimos coming into this ball game tonight, and both teams having played the same number of games, at the edge statistically over the Lions, including points scored so far.
Big statistic, though, that's not there is only 195 points against the Lions.
That's right. On defense, they laid everybody in the league. The Walls was all day. Now he's got out of there and a whole bunch of room to run. He got down in a hurry inside the 15-yard line. Kepley was coming.
There was no flag on the play, but Tony Anglin absolutely was trying to drop John Pankrat. Looked like he was going to tackle him, but Walt finally takes off and picks up another very important first down for the Lions.
15-yard gain.
Watch Pankrat as he tries to get out on this pattern. Anglin almost tackles him at the line of scrimmage.
It's tough on those inside receivers, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why you got to have a little size in there.
DeWalt gets to the 10-yard line. Mandarich tripped him up. Pick up about 4 yards. Second
Roy
down
has
and 6.
taken off far more times tonight than we've seen in recent games. As Don Matthews looks on, Don has stated that he doesn't want him ever to take off, but I guess Roy's reacting to it a little bit to the fact that people are saying he's not so mobile.
They moved the ball about 100 yards and haven't got a score yet.
That's right.
Into the end zone. Open his arm right now.
What a drive. 109 yards for a touchdown. Took about 2.5 minutes or whatever it was to do. It's just a beautiful thing.
Fourth touchdown of the year for Ned Armour.
Well, you can see Roy DeWalt from the picture we had behind him, just timing that so perfectly, throwing before Armour had made his break, working against Cliff Toney, number 6.
And actually, they moved the ball 109 yards, just over a minute and a half.
Is that what it was?
No, 1-yard line. Pasaglia now to convert the touchdown by Armour.
Boy, does that make the defensive unit feel good when they can sit out and watch their offense go 109 yards. You just don't see that very often.
Well,
last time we were here, gentlemen, we saw the visiting team do a pretty good job of driving the football about 106 yards. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers to win that one.
Tommy Clements has had an outstanding night. I remember that.
Armour got the touchdown. Roy DeWalt has carried 3 times for 25 yards. He is the rushing leader in this ball game.
Well, he's also thrown a couple of strikes to that gentleman for major scores.
Saskatchewan and Calgary fans are feeling pretty good about now, too, aren't they? They're going to relax at halftime and have a nice time.
Yeah, but the Winnipeg fans are not all that pleased about what's happening.
I tell you, really get emotionally involved when you're one of the coaches on the other team, just wondering who's going to win this one and all.
Here's the kickoff by Pasaglia. Milson Jones on the return. Jones is pushed down by Tulumu at about the 26-yard line. We have 51 seconds left in the first half. 14 yards on the run back by Milson Jones. 17-3 the score in favor of the Lions. They have touchdowns tonight from Ned Armour here in the second quarter, Ron Robinson in the first, and a field goal from Pasaglia. Cutler's field goal accounting for all the Eskimo scoring to this point. First down, 27-yard line, Eskimos. Neil Lumsden just worked himself into the open along the sidelines and then picked up enough for the first down.
Dunnigan is a tough little guy, boy. He just hung right in there.
The Eskimos do very well on the quick offense at the end of the half or into the ball game, so don't give up on them putting some points on the board. 45 seconds remain.
He's down from the 38. Chris Woods has found that seam at the 50-yard line for another first down. 12-yard pickup. Chris Woods.
Got to give this guy a little room. Big speed.
They were looking for a speed receiver to replace a great speed receiver in Waddell Smith. And that's
BC
the guy
Lions
that's
offside, I think. Parker.
Couple penalty flags, and Dunnigan completes it to Fryer at the 40-yard line of BC. 20-yard gain. Offside against the Lions, and they'll forget about that. Take the gain. They're at the BC 40-yard line already.
All of a sudden, Edmonton's offense is moving the football, which they haven't been able to do this whole first half.
We've seen some offense here the last couple of minutes, haven't we?
Dunnigan looking for Woods again. There's another penalty flag down in the middle of the field. Pass goes incomplete. Holding the indication against the Eskimos. And
I think you'll see him accept that with 21 seconds remaining.
2 times too many now. The Eskimos have been hurting themselves. Penalties here in the first half.
Who's the Eskimos?
Holding Edmonton number 32.
Neil Lumsden.
Moves him back essentially out of field goal range. 21 seconds remaining. Neil, the great fullback for the Eskimos over the years. Great receiver. People don't give him much credit as they should.
Down 20, Chris Woods, 35-yard line. He got 16 yards right back. Mel Bird made the tackle.
It's a good thing he did, too, because that guy's got those quick feet, and he can just really take it up in the seam.
Well, they're laying off the receivers, and Dunnigan's taking advantage of it.
It's second down and 4. Dunnigan goes down. Back at the 37, 38-yard line. Lassen, number 90. Made the tackle. So it'll be third down now for the Eskimos. 8
Tucker
seconds left.
coming on the field now. Dale, I think it's just 8 seconds remaining. Jack doesn't want to burn up another play. It'll be about a 44, 45-yard field goal. Attempt. 17-3 right now, the Lions lead.
Cutler has hit from 54 yards this year, and of course he has hit 59 yards in the past, but this year he has been having some trouble in field goal kicking. He's got the 1 so far tonight. He's 13 out of 25 on the season.
The funny thing to try to figure out, Dale, when you go down before the game and watch Dave kick the football, he looks like he's hitting it just as well as he ever has, really hitting it strong. But it has not been a great year for him.
Dave Cutler has a whole bunch of CFL records.
He's got a whole bunch of pro football records, like the #1 scorer in the history of the game.
Dunnigan doing the holding at the 44-yard line. Stop, will it make it? Just
That was a big trade. They needed that going into the half game.
He didn't waste any extra distance, did he?
Hey, this is one of the few nights in Alberta I've never seen any wind at all. Those flags are just died. So I just, no wind factor in the kicking game at all.
Cutler connects from 44 yards out. It's 17-6 now in favor of the Lions with just 3 seconds left to go here in the first half. BC will scrimmage the ball from their own 35-yard line. Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the only team to have officially clinched a playoff spot. The month of October could be a thriller.
CTV will have that big BC Winnipeg game later in October.
And DeWalt just kills the clock here in the second quarter. That'll do it. The two teams will head to the locker room with the BC Lions out in front of the Edmonton Eskimos by a 17-6 count.
Ladies and gentlemen, with just 4 games to go in the voting for the most toughest yard award for 1984, we'd like to bring everybody up to date in the overall standings. 2 players, Larry Cowan and Chris Woods, are tied for the lead with...
Well, a good first half of football, I think you'll agree.
players.
I thought Roy DeWalt looked as good as he's looked this year. He's been hobbled certainly by that bad ankle, that turf toe. Then he topped that off by bruising his knee. And although the coaches always say he's fine, I thought that he was really hobbled, but certainly not tonight. He's rolling around doing a great job, which was really exemplified by that tremendous run downfield. And here's a guy who really did it all in that first half. A great catch, Ron Robinson. Ron, that was a great drive downfield for that last touchdown.
Oh, thank you. We just had to put it together and get out there and do what we could to get in that board before we go in at halftime and get a bigger lead as possible before they come out and try to pull some kind of Mickey Mouse play and get back in the game.
Okay, let's get away, Ron. Thank you very much. Ron Robinson. Move the
Great defensive effort by the BC Lions. And, of course, that 109-yard drive by the Lions was just outstanding at the latter part of the second quarter. Let's get to the highlights right now. The first, a great catch by Ned Armour, started the BC Lions off offensively. This was for a 42-yard gain, and watch the catch right over the shoulder behind Joe Holloman. That set up the BC Lions for their first score. They went ahead 3-0, and after a senseless penalty by the BC Lions, Brian Kelly put the Eskimos in position to tie the ball game up 3-3 with this catch. Was he wide open or not? The BC Lions' big play offense came up with a huge one in that first quarter. Ron Robinson watching from his slot back position. He got behind Durden, number 17, and this play covered 75 yards and had the BC Lions ahead of the Eskimos 10-3 at the end of the first quarter. Good block by John Pankratz, number 21. The BC Lions then put together with one of the best offensive drives you'll see in the entire 1984 CFL season. It was capped off by this great throw from Roy DeWalt to Ned Armour, and the BC Lions went ahead 17-3. The Eskimos came back to get a field goal, so we have a 17-6 lead for the BC Lions at the end of 30 minutes. We'll be back with more CFL action on CTV in just a moment.
We're back for the third quarter here at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. The Lions kicking off to the Eskimos. And this one will go out of bounds inside the 5-yard line, and the Eskimos will have Lou Pasaglia do it all over again. Half-time here at Commonwealth Stadium. The new Miss Edmonton Eskimo was crowned, and of course she'll be representing the Eskimos at Grey Cup week. Valerie Leggett, Miss Edmonton Eskimos 1984. She'll host the other Miss Grey Cup contestants.
Pretty lady.
She's a honey.
277 total yards for the Lions in the first half. They had a 109-yard drive in that second quarter for a touchdown. This is Joe Holloman on the return. Veteran can still do it. He did a lot of kick returning in his early days as an Eskimo, and then didn't do it the last few years. He's back at it again. 37 yards for Joe Holloman.
I felt that they had to come out the start of the second half and get something going. They really did on the very first play on a kickoff return. Got excellent field position now. Now they're going to make something happen from this point on.
The Eskimos Eskimos first down at their own 50-yard line. They trail 17-6. We're just underway in the third quarter. The reverse coming up, Chris Woods. This is the third time this year he's
a lot of room.
Play. Oh, he almost broke it. Kevin Konar again got him from behind at the BC 40-yard line, a pickup of 21 yards.
A great play.
Darnell Clash had a chance to stop him for about only 10 yards and tried to block him. Watch number 1 as he comes up from his corner position. You just can't do that. He didn't even get a piece of it.
No, he kind of turned his head there instead of sticking his head right in there.
Chris Woods has run that play now 3 times for 60 yards. He's averaging 20 yards every time they run it.
Might say it again. Lots of time.
Nobody open downfield, so he just released it to the safety valve, Neil Lumsden. And Tyrone Cruz brings him down after a pickup of maybe 1 yard.
No, I can't remember another tackle even that Tyrone Cruz has been in on so far this evening. He certainly hasn't been a dominant factor in this ball game. He does a good job at that middle linebacker spot. He's number 91.
Second down and 9 for the Eskimos, just inside the BC 39. Flanagan stepping up, finds a man open in the middle, but it goes incomplete. Marco Sincar, the intended receiver, at the 20-yard line. Well, it brings up third down, and it'll be a Dave Cutler field goal attempt coming up. Good on 2 attempts in the first half, 1 from 44 yards out. This one will be about a 45-yarder.
What about a fake right here, Jocko? They're at the Lions' 38-yard line. If it doesn't work, they're still not giving up great field position. Possibility?
There's a chance of that.
Dunnigan fakes it.
How's that go?
He got the first down. He just slid through those tacklers and picked up the first.
We're reading somebody's mail, weren't we?
Well, I think it makes sense. I think it's a good call.
Especially when you got a holder like Dunnigan.
And you got a great blocker out front of you like Dave Cutler as soon as he gets downfield. I'll tell you, Matt makes that last couple of yards on his own.
Oh, yeah. He's a competitive guy. That's a couple of great plays to get him back here, like 3 in a row. The reverse, that one, and the opening kickoff return.
First down Edmonton from the BC 28-yard line. A little bit of a mix-up, it looked like. Dunnigan's all on his own now. Finds Lumsden open. And he takes it to the 20-yard line for a gain of 8.
Broken play quarterback. Does just a super job.
Owner and Crawford forced Lumsden out of bounds.
Gain of 8. Second down.
8 yards when a lot of people would have been sacked for -7 or 8.
That's their short yardage running offense there now.
Well, they had some drives going in the first half. Penalties certainly hurt them. Right now they're looking at second down and 2 from the 20. The give to Lumsden. He's got the first down and more. Spilled at the 15-yard line by Crawford.
This has really been an outstanding last few minutes of the first half, and a couple of minutes that have gone into the second half have really been good football. It's been up and down the field.
Good hit by Crawford, although I still like to see those defensive backs wrap their arms around the ball carrier.
First down Edmonton, just inside the BC 15. Big rush on Dunnigan. He won't get away this time. Mac Moore, number 78, 15-yard loss.
Wow, what a big sack that was. Whoa.
That's a big play on the defense.
Dunnigan comes up limping.
Well, they can ill afford that. Mac Moore comes right up the middle.
Second down.
Beats Lil Blanchard to the inside.
Beat him to the inside, that's right. Upton had to turn away to help on Ron Cherkis, and Blanchard couldn't handle it.
Another Eskimo is injured on the play. Dunnigan's going to take an opportunity to head to the bench. He pulled something it looked like as he was being tackled by Mac Moore.
I wonder if that injury is to maybe give the young quarterback a little more time to recuperate.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt about that exchange. That's an exchange injury. You sit down, we'll bring Collins coming out of the ball game, and Milton Jones comes back in. The other thing, Milton Jones is a good receiver coming out of the backfield, too.
Looking at Johnny Evans also standing there, listening to what Dunnigan is being told.
Lumsden coming up.
Yeah, the wily old fullback. I don't think he's hurt real bad.
Lumsden's out. Wilson Jones, Larry Cowan, the running backs now. Second down for the Eskimos. 24 yards to go. McMillan, giving chase. Dunnigan releases. Stepping out of bounds, put it at the 9-yard line was Marco Sincar.
I'll tell you exactly what happened on that play. James Quick Parker was absolutely destroyed, and there was no containment. Watch number 40 go down. It was Wilson Jones that hit him. A great block allowing Dunnigan to get to the outside and plenty of time to throw the ball on the run. What a big block by Wilson Jones, 34. Parker is hurt.
Just got forced out of bounds over there. Otherwise, he had a first down.
Let's go to Al.
Well, just before we get back to the exciting action, I've got Don Henderson with me, president of the Canadian Amateur Football Association. Don, of course, you're looking forward to 7 weeks from now. You're back in Edmonton, and the first big breakup thing is that roast for Norm Kimball.
It's our second annual CAFA roast, and we're really looking forward to it. We had a super event in Vancouver last year, and we think that the people in Edmonton really have something to look forward to.
I hear the tickets are going fast already.
Yes, and I would urge those visitors that are likely to be coming to Edmonton to get on the bandwagon, because all of the events are going very quickly, and I know that ours is moving quite rapidly.
Well, I know they've got a banner amount of events going, and yours is the Tuesday night. It should be a dandy.
I think it really will, Al.
Don, thanks for dropping by.
You bet. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Al. It's 3rd down and 5 now for the Eskimos, and Dunnigan will hold for Dave Cutler's 17-yard field goal attempt. Cutler is now good on 3 out of 3 in this ball game. We have 9:55 left in the 3rd quarter. 17-9. Lions leading it. We'll be back in just a moment. Dave Cutler has kicked another field goal. As you look at Matt Dunnigan on the phone. And it's a 17-9 ball game. The Lions leading the Eskimos at this point, but Dunnigan has moved the football club tonight. They've just run into some problems. Penalties.
They kept the ball for 5 minutes and 5 seconds. This is BC's first possession of the second half.
The ball quickly to Merv Fernandez. He makes the catch, steps out of bounds, but a gain of only 3 yards. They'll spot it at the 38. Got the wave going here at Commonwealth Stadium.
They've got to watch some replays from the dome. The crowds here, so they get it going.
2nd down and 7.
Here they come.
Page Russell to Walt and got away from it. Throws. Is it complete? Ron Robinson made the catch for a first down, working against Mike Durden, number 17.
What a great job of holding on to the football. Durden just right there defensively.
Watch that.
That's Robinson, who caught a 75-yard touchdown pass earlier in this ball game, beating Mike Durden. What a key reception that was for BC. First down just outside their own 45-yard line. We need to keep this football a little while himself.
John Henry White takes the handoff, got an opening, and he's got a first down into Edmonton territory. Laurier and Tony Anglin making the tackle, 12-yard gain.
Those guys moving the sticks along the sideline are going to be tired tonight. I'll tell you what, they're moving up and down there pretty good.
They're taking Gerald Roper out of the ball game now. Dennis Jamin playing at left offensive guard, number 67.
Ned Armour went down, got up, and looks like he's got enough for the first down. Joe Holloman was was giving him a cushion, and Holloman slipped on the play and left Armour wide open.
It looks like he knows exactly where that first down marker is, doesn't he? We're going to have to measure now to see whether he did in fact pick up 10 yards. Armour and Sandusky have been alternated by head coach Don Matthews at that one outside receiving spot. Armour with the better speed, Sandusky a small receiver with those great moves, really, really quick.
Edmonton has got to come up here with something defensively and stop these guys now. It's going to be
First down for the Lions. Roy DeWalt has now thrown 6 completions in a row and 8 out of his last 10. Going back to the second quarter. John Henry White following the block of Glenn Leonard, and with Stu Hill on his back, White picks up about 7 yards down to the Eskimo 36-yard line.
Now, on most occasions in the past, when the Lions have had 2nd and 3, they've thrown the football, and they're down in 3-down territory here. They might want to run it a couple times in a row to pick up this first down.
David Tulum will give it to him.
Oh, going in the air.
Pankratz open, makes the catch, first down. Durden making sure he goes out of bounds with it at the 25-yard line, a gain of 11.
Edmonton going back to the blitzing situation now on second down against the Lions. You'll see both of their linebackers in the middle coming. Danny Bass and Danny Kepley.
White got a piece of Bass. The Lions with a fine-looking drive going here. They had a 109-yard drive in that second quarter. DeWalt, the goal line, Armour, touchdown BC, his second of the ball game.
Boy, and just a great catch, using his body to screen the defender out of the way. Ed Armour may be earning that job as the other wide receiver.
He's been outstanding tonight. Just at the first couple of catches he made of the ball game, over his shoulder, a couple other key catches. This was a fine reception here.
Both clubs are moving the ball, the difference being the Lions are getting touchdowns, the Eskimos having to settle for field goals.
The last 2 possessions for the BC Lions, as Dale mentioned, 109 yards to end the first half. This one 75 yards, both resulting in major scores.
And converted by Bisaglia, and the BC Lions with 6:53 remaining here in the third quarter lead the Eskimos 24-9. We're coming right back. A 75-yarder capped off, 25-yard play from DeWalt to Armour, his second touchdown reception of the night. Another look at it, making the catch right at the goal line. In his last 12 attempts, DeWalt's been good on 10 of 12, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns, both of them to Armour. Wilson Jones finally picks it up and brings the kickoff return out to near the 30-yard line. 14-yard return.
As we were talking about just a few minutes ago, I think this is where the defensive superiority of the Lions has shown. In other words, they've given up a couple of field goals, but not the touchdown. For about 40 minutes out here, Edmonton has not been able to score the touchdown, and that's the difference, because they've been really tough on defense when it has to be, and that's the Lions defense. I really like those guys.
Donnie Taylor of the Lions shaken up. He was in on that tackle on the kick. Now at the sideline. First down Eskimos from the 29-yard line. Working into the open, Chris Woods, and he's got big speed. If it can get going, that's it. He, I think, is gone. Woo! 81 yards.
That's what speed will do for you. An innocent-looking pass out in the flat is 6 points.
These guys with the sticks are running up the counter. They're getting gas. Just talking about the BC defense, if they ease up just a little bit, don't have that speed to cover somebody like that. Look at that play.
Bird once again slipped on the play. Jocko,
Yep.
you made the point 2 or 3 times that people have been slipping out on this turf, and that cost the BC Lions 6 points.
Sometimes those guys don't change their cleats when they get on a turf, you know, on a grass turf. They just go with a little 3/8-inch cleat and they're in trouble.
Going for two.
Dunnigan's going to try and take it in himself. And he made it. Oh, what a hill. He just dragged Rick Klassen with him into the end zone. So the Eskimos come right back. It's now a 24-17 ball game. We'll be right back. All right, here's Dunnigan going for the two-point conversion.
Quarterback is not supposed to pull a big defensive end into the end zone, but Matt did it.
Chris Woods got the touchdown, 81-yarder. And I mentioned Roy DeWalt stats here a moment ago. Dunnigan's last 11 passes, he's completed 10 for 207 and a touchdown.
That's great.
Darnell Clash on the return, and quickly he is thrown out of bounds by Frank Baltovic, number 49, at the 24-yard line. Return of 14 yards.
That great scoring play really enthused that kickoff covering team too, didn't it? There's an emotional thing going on now.
Well, here's the man, Chris Wood. 81 yards, Chris. Is that the longest ever for you?
Oh, praise the Lord, it is. I still feel it.
I'll tell you, it started so innocently, just a little hitch to the side.
There was a quick out, you know, in the corner, went for the ball, and I broke a couple of tackles, and it was a foot race after that.
That's all right. You showed great track speed there, partner. Congratulations.
Well, it may take that to win the game tonight, so we got to do whatever it takes.
Incomplete pass on first down from DeWalt to Robinson. Second down at 10 from the 24. 24-17 ball game. Lions leading the Eskimos. 5 minutes and 42 seconds remain in the third quarter. Blitz on the wall. The ball is loose. It's a fumble. The Eskimos have got it.
Danny Bass coming on the blitz. You could see Kepley pull up just a bit, but Bass kept coming, and it results in the biggest turnover of this football game. Started up right now. You'll see Bass stop it there. You see Kepley stop, and then Bass, number 30, continue on in there to put the big pressure on Roy DeWalt.
Cody
Nobody
England
picked him up.
The ball.
Dennis Javen, the left offensive guard, turned back, but not in time to stop Bass. Watch it again.
What a turnaround. This is really great.
First down Eskimos at the BC 14-yard line. Converted touchdown here will tie the ball game up. Dunnigan's got an opening. He'll score himself.
Wow, we thought we'd have a super football game for you tonight, and this one can't disappoint you.
Hey, listen, the Lions will be right back. The way they're moving the football, they'll be right back in it. They got their act together,
the only
too.
possession that hasn't resulted in a score in this half was that fumble by Roy DeWalt.
Sixth touchdown of the year for Matt Dunnigan. He'll now hold for Dave Cutler, and he'll tie this football game up at 24 with 5:12 remaining in the third quarter. This is the final Friday night game of the year, and we've got one of the best ones of the season by
Have we
far.
seen some action in this 10 minutes of this third quarter?
An 81-yard score by Chris Woods, and all of a sudden a fumble by Roy DeWalt, and the Eskimos put it in the end zone, and the ball game is all tied up.
Well, you can't put 14 or 15 points, I should say, on the board much quicker than that.
There's 20 minutes of football left in this ball game. There's going to be a lot of things happening. If that much happens in 10, when you got 20 minutes
I don't think we have to tell anybody not to go away. What a night for Matt Dunnigan.
You might notice, if you get a close-up of the helmets of the kickoff team, they're all wearing little emblems, the Eskimos, the Busters. They say they're trying to be the best kickoff team in the league.
Saw a graphic up there for a moment or two as Cutler puts this one to the goal line. Just 3 yards separating the two teams in total offense now. And the game is tied. Darnell Clash spins off a couple, stays in bounds and finally steps out at the 35-yard line. Good run back. Darnell Clash, a 35-yard return.
Well, he showed some athletic ability on that one. Watch this. Look at that.
Good athlete. The young rookie that the Eskimos got from the BC Lions got down there very quickly. Clash just blew right by him.
Darnell Clash was a high school quarterback.
He's a little one.
Yeah. Wall. Time. Incomplete. Going for Ron Robinson again. And Robinson has had trouble like that in the past.
I'll tell you, I like the way Roy is standing in that pocket. No sign of the nervous feet that we saw early season with Roy DeWalt. He looks like he's much more confident back there. Certainly can't fault him for that one.
And when he's had to run with the football, he's looked much better. Taking off the effects of a bruised knee in last week's game. Here's a pitch on 2nd and 10. Tulumu looking for that first down marker, and he's pushed out at the 43, so he'll be a couple yards short.
Well, I don't remember the last time I saw that. 2nd and 10 with the BC Lions running the football.
And into the short side of the field. No, that surprised me. Maybe he thought they were going to catch everybody by surprise.
I think maybe it's 2 or 3 years ago that we saw that last.
The punting unit comes in. Third down, 2 from the 44.
Yeah, right. Larry Key with that quick pitch to the weak side. He used to be dynamite on that.
He used to be able to control the ball on you, too, that play.
That's right.
That's another day.
One man back. Eskimos are rushing 11. The first punt of the second half. Sagley hangs it up there. Joe Holloman, return man, 22-yard line. 25, maybe the 26-yard line. Ryan Potter, number 33, was downfield to help on the tackle. 4-yard return, 45-yard punt. We're tied at 24. 3:57 left to go here in the third quarter. An exciting third quarter for the Eskimo fans.
Well, we've really seen some great receiving to it. The productivity of the receivers tonight have just been outstanding. Hey, like Armour and Fernandez and Brian Kelly and Chris Woods.
Down Eskimos, the ball at their own 26. Coming in, going for a big one. Well over the head of the intended receiver, Chris Woods.
They talk about Dunnigan having just an average arm as far as strength is concerned. A little better than average there. That one went about 55, 60 yards in the air.
He's got a good arm. He had an outstanding college career at Louisiana Tech. It's the same school. I guess he broke Terry Bradshaw's passing record in college.
Got to have some kind of arm to do that.
He's got it.
That 81-yard score by Chris Woods was the longest passing play of the season for the Eskimos. Big rush from Cruz, but Dunnigan got away from him. All the way back to the goal line.
Catch up with him?
Penalty marker is down. He completes the pass to Brian Fryer for a gain of only a couple. Crawford made the hit immediately.
Got it all the way back to the line.
I'll tell you what, he might have only gained a couple of yards, but he tired 2 defenders out. Clipping call against the Eskimos will move it back, but what a great display of athletic ability by Matt Dunnigan tonight.
Line of scrimmage, the 26-yard line. Dunnigan's back at the goal line.
Jackie Parker's still cool as a cookie down there.
I'll tell you one thing, you got to be a little nervous with him running around like that, so if he goes down, what a key guy you'd lose.
And he's running for the other goal line, you know.
Well, he's going anywhere he wants, you know. He got more moves than Brian Kelly tonight.
Now, my stomach would be on old age pension if I was coaching a guy like that, and the quarterback's running all over. He makes it happen. Flipping, Edmonton number 62. Second down over.
Cole Stevenson.
Second and punt.
There it is right there. 5-yard line. Oh, Rick Klassen.
How frustrating that must be, is trying to chase him down back there.
Second and 25.
Ty Cruz, the first one in there, number 91.
Back to the live action now as the Eskimos are out over the ball. Dunnigan hands off to Milson Jones. Jones does a good job of breaking tackles.
Oh, can you believe that?
He almost got a first down. He got up to the 35-yard line. They pushed him back. A pickup of 21.
The Eskimos offensive unit want to go for it. Look at Cortier. I don't think there's any way that the Eskimos will gamble. It's third and about 1.5 or 2.
Parker sends in the punting unit.
Wise decision.
That's right. Don't let emotion make that decision for you, brother.
That's right.
Punt it out of there.
The Lions are not doing a good job of tackling in this third quarter, and it's showing.
Good punt by Johnny Evans. Pushes Flash back to the 21-yard line. And he is tripped up as he gets to about the 35. So we have 2:14 remaining in the third quarter. Clash appears to be injured on the play after returning that punt 13 yards. A 53-yard kick by Evans. He's now punting the way he did in the first quarter.
53-yard punt.
Well, this is not only the biggest crowd of the year in the CFL, it's the noisiest crowd, gentlemen, I'll tell you. They're really getting a great game for this, our final Friday night CTV telecast of the season.
Absolutely perfect night for a football game. Just beautiful. And two really good teams that are going at it. Couldn't ask for any more.
Darnell Clash, the injured knee.
You see the injured ball player, Darnell Clash. He's having some problems with that right knee. Took a hit on it right there.
Gil, you've always got the mathematics of various situations figured out. Now, what does a tie do for the BC Lions? It really puts them in pretty good shape, does it not? Be just 2 points
in
behind
the race
the Bombers.
with Winnipeg, yeah.
Game in hand.
A tie tonight would give them 17 points. As you look at the Eastern Division standings quickly, Winnipeg has 19. Of course, the Bombers playing Toronto on Sunday. Ned Armour works himself into the open, gets away from Cliff Tony. Ned Armour's got good speed too, and Delorier bumps him out of bounds just inside the Eskimo 50-yard line.
He looked like a good runner after he made the catch. In other words, he shifted the ball a couple of times advantageously. In other words, that would look pretty good.
More importantly than the tie, getting back to the BC-Winnipeg situation, the Lions do have the game in hand.
That's right, yes. And, of course, it should all come down to that final game in the Dome. Winnipeg
October
meets the
27th.
BC Lions.
We'll be there for that one. That was a 26-yard gain by Armour. First down, Lions. DeWalt steps up, finds Mervyn Fernandez.
Nice job of stepping up in the pocket again. No nervous feet. He's using that pocket as it should be in.
First down, BC.
It's almost like a repeat of a play early in the first quarter where Fernandez comes back to the ball like the great receivers do. That was a well-executed hooking pattern.
Paul Boudreau, the offensive line coach, as you look at Fernandez making the catch once more. He really hasn't been able to shake Darryl Hall at all. I mean, Hall's stuck with him pretty good tonight.
Great offensive display by both teams in this third quarter. Comes the blitz. DeWalt goes up top. Fernandez. Oh, I thought he had. Oh, he did for a minute.
That was a well-thrown football.
Certainly was, and you're not going to see that ball get away from Fernandez like that very often. Well, that's one of the few times, as you can say, in 1984, Merv should have had it.
Whew, he just looked like the ball had radar on it. Boy, he just dropped that thing right in. Beautiful.
Second down and 10 from the Eskimo 39-yard line. We're into the last minute of the third quarter, and we're tied at 24, the Lions and the Eskimos. First meeting of the year ended up 44-10 for BC. DeWalt down the middle, wide open. Robinson makes the catch. First down near the 10-yard line.
He beats that zone every time when he comes through, running that guy in the middle. The two deep guys get so deep that he catches that seam.
And he doesn't really have to run any great pattern. He just turns it to the inside after he gets away from the linebacker. You see him just going straight downfield. No particular moves, but a fine reception by Robinson. First down at the 11-yard line now of the Eskimos as we go up and down the field.
29-yard gain for Robinson. This could be the last play of the third quarter. From the Eskimo 11-yard line, DeWalt looks into the end zone. Pankratz, his first touchdown of the year.
Boy, did DeWalt do a beautiful job of moving the team down there. Moved the ball to a number of different receivers. Some great catches. That one was a good catch. Good concentration on the football by Pankratz.
That ball was thrown hard.
Yes, it was. And there were some hands in the way there, but he concentrated well on the football.
What a great third quarter this has been.
Whoa! Hey, I love it.
Final play of the quarter, DeWalt hits Pankratz for the major score, and for John, his first of the season.
You can see Pankratz's head on that reception. Just turn right into the football. Just drop that head and eyes. You can see it just following it all the way in.
Louis Pasaglia converts the touchdown, and the BC Lions will go into the fourth quarter, and the Lions kicking off following the touchdown to close out the third quarter. Milson Jones on the return. Jones finds a bit of an opening and brings it out of the 30 to about the 32-yard line. 34-yard return for number 34, and he appears to be shaken up on the play. Ned Armour has 6 catches tonight for 121 yards, 2 touchdowns. Chris Woods of the Eskimos has 3 catches for 108 yards and 1 touchdown.
Throw by Roy DeWalt to put the BC Lions back out in front, 31-24.
You could see that hand come across in front of Pankratz there, but he really concentrated on the football, made a fine catch. What a bunch of receivers the Lions have.
Oh. Both of these ball clubs.
Yeah.
It's the first time we've done an Eskimo game in recent memory where Brian Kelly hasn't really been that big a factor. He's certainly made a couple of fine receptions, but he hasn't been that big a factor. Jones going down. Yeah, they don't give up on that. That's right. Wilson Jones, former Winnipeg Blue Bomber.
Let's go to Al.
I got Blake Dermott here. Blake, you know, you're under a lot of pressure because you're the guy who does the long snaps, and Dave Cutler's been having problems. But tonight you got it all going tonight.
Yeah, I think things are working really well. Cuddy's kicking the ball smooth, and we haven't missed.
I know that you must be happy about it because you feel part of Cutler's pressure.
Oh yeah. Well, the three of us, everybody. Cuddy's the guy that gets all the pressure put on him because he's a kicker, but he's a third of the whole team.
Of the unit, yeah. Tell me about. I see a bunch of logos on the helmets of the kickoff team tonight.
Those are our Ghostbusters. Those are our Ghostbusters. That's what we call our specialists on kickoff cover.
Good luck. Heck of a game. Buddy.
Okay, thank you.
First down, Eskimos. The ball at their own 33-yard line. Dunnigan, option play, pitches to Larry Cowan. He gets outside and forced out of bounds at the 38, pickup of 5 yards. (31-24). BC leading Edmonton. We're just starting the fourth quarter here at Commonwealth Stadium. Dunnigan pass. He has a first down at the 47-yard line. Pickup of 9 yards for the Eskimos.
Bill, I wonder just how bad James Quick Parker was hurt on that great block by Milson Jones earlier in this ball game, because I've watched him the last couple of series, and he is not coming with his normal ferocity. Not been a factor in the pass rush at all.
Again, releases to Larry Cowan for a gain of about 5 more yards.
What's good, I looked on the pattern before that when he made the first down, and Brian Kelly goes to the short side of the field. They still have to double up on him, even in zones. They really lay back on Brian. That really makes it a little bit soft underneath, and as a result of that, they've made some good completions underneath where Brian Kelly is running. They're using Brian, what I'm saying, as a decoy more than a prime target.
That was an incomplete pass to Larry Cowan. Second down and 10. Over the middle, Marco Sinkar, the intended receiver, and Kevin Konar was there to break it up.
Frank, you mentioned this earlier in the ball game.
Moving up quickly to field it is Melvin Bird. He's wrapped up and dropped shy of the 35-yard line by Frank Balkovich. Just under 13 minutes remaining in the ballgame. Darnell Clash looks like he's through for the night. right knee, which he injured on a punt return earlier in this. All wrapped up now.
That would be a devastating thing to those guys. Great corner that he is. The coverage that you need to have on some of those fine wide receivers. Wow.
That'll force an adjustment in the BC Lions secondary.
Probably move Crawford out to that corner spot.
Put Ed Jones in the back spot. First down, BC. John Henry White from the 34 gets it out to about the 39. Gain of close to 5 yards on the play. Big rush from Bass. The Walt gets it to Pankratz. Oh, he just stepped out of bounds at the 51. 4 out of 40 for 400 yards. Finds Ron Robinson. Fumbles the ball. The Eskimos have got it. Mike Gooden got the loose ball.
Well, he was trying to be fancy, trying to make a quick move there to gain another yard or two, and forgot to hold the football. There's a timeout on the field. When we return,
Angle at Ron Robinson losing the football after a gain of 22.
Larion knocks it out of his hands. Watch number 15 as he goes to make the tackle. Durden picks up the fumble recovery, so 11:43 remaining. The Eskimos regain possession.
Second effort really paid off there. Mike Durden actually missed the initial tackle, then hustled back into the play and picked up that fumble.
Good point, Al.
First down Eskimos from their 37. Dunnigan going quickly to Brian Kelly. He's got a gain of close to 9 yards on the play out to the 46. And a long one for the Eskimos. Lumsden hit at the line of scrimmage. Falls forward, may have enough for the first down. Dunnigan throwing quickly. Brian Kelly working in front of Larry Crawford, picks up 9 more. Dunnigan keeps it. He has the first down. He gets to the 50-yard line of the Lions. Draw play. Lumsden wrapped up as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage. They may give him about a yard on the play. Second down, 9.5. Ryan Fryer. That's close to first down yardage to about the 42-yard line. He'll be short by a yard at least.
Little pick play it looked like to me over there in front of Larry Crawford. Watch Brian Kelly on the outside come down.
Going for it.
Fryer goes behind him. Good switch by the defensive backs. Larry just doesn't make the tackle, which is really unusual. They're going to go.
Third down and 2. Ball at the 42 of BC.
You don't go for the big one here, do you, Jacko?
No.
Lumsden, he's got a first down. He made a nice little move.
He really did.
To the line of scrimmage.
He stepped out of one tackle and made a move outside and got it.
Pressure from Parker. He just ran right by Hekpache and made the sack for a loss of 8 yards.
Bill, you're absolutely right, because there was nothing wrong with the position that Partier stood up in. He came back just like he should, set up right here. It was just Parker's great quickness that beat him to the outside. I thought maybe James was hurt a little bit from that great block that we mentioned by Milson Jones with a guy like Parker, because if you get back there too quick, he'll take the inside on you.
Look out! Oh, Parker's got him again. 2 big defensive plays when they needed it.
See what happens, Dunnigan reads the zone coverage, so he figures he can buy a little bit more time because of the zone coverage, but it's that backside rush guy, and he just really made 2 great plays.
See, that time he took the inside route. That's why he's so difficult to block. With that great quickness, he can afford to take the inside position. We're going to show that to you again if we can.
Here's the punt on third down. End over end kick this time by Johnny Evans. Mel Bird moves up quickly to take it. He got a little bit of a lane there and got almost to the 30-yard line. A return 13 yards in losses thanks to James Parker. BC first down from their own 29, and DeWalt got the ball away just as he was hit by Stu Hill.
He got hit hard.
They have an injured BC Lion down. 6 still is. Second down, DeWalt going deep for Robinson. Oh, he is sent but there's not a flag on the play.
Well, I don't know.
And here comes DeWalt running upfield as well.
I certainly thought Durden was all over Robinson before the ball got there. And Ron agrees. Watch it. Oh,
The right arm just pulled him away.
He's got a hold of his shoulder pad before the ball's there.
Look at that.
Right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Got away with one.
I think they did.
That is the home field advantage.
High snap. Cycle snares it and gets a good kick away. Woods back to the 30-yard line. He's taken one all the way back this year. He has got big speed and stopped at midfield by Larry Crawford. No, John Henry White. I'm sorry, number 20. A 25-yard return. Trying to set up the screen. It didn't work. Now finds Sinkar, and he can't hold on to it. Dunningham getting heat from McMurray. Steps up, and Parker hit him. He flipped out to Rod Knopf, the offensive guard, number 67.
I'll tell you, well, what a heads-up play by Dunnigan.
Mel Bird from the 10-yard line. Trying to reverse his field. The Eskimos are there and cover it well for a return of only 1 yard after a 49-yard punt from their own 11-yard line. Walt comes out forward. Finds Pankratz wide open in the middle. Cliff Tony hauls him down at the 25-yard line, but it's a first down BC.
Well, if he gets by him, there's another 20, 30 yards in that play.
But again, DeWalt makes some big plays when the on his own end of the field down here.
Lions out in front by 7. Stuart Hill, the rookie from Washington, gets to the BC quarterback for a loss of 7 yards. Second down and 16. Penalty marker. Fernandez, the intended receiver, and Darrell Hall got in front of him. Him late in the ball game. The Lions with a 7-point lead, but it's third down for BC. They'll have to punt it away. Darrell Hall, the injured Eskimo.
Eye observer down there.
Right. Here's the punt from Pasaglia. It hangs up there. Bounces back towards the BC line of scrimmage. Tony Anglin takes it. Crowd haulers for no yards. There's no penalty flags down. Eskimos again with great field position. They're inside BC territory. Trying to snap a 2-game losing streak here tonight against the Eskimos. They lead by 7 right now. Dunnigan goes to Chris Woods. And he'll just get out of bounds with it after picking up what appears to be a first down at the BC 41. Big pressure up the middle class and missed the quarterback going deep for Woods. Oh, he almost juggled it into a completion in the end zone. He was standing out of bounds, mind you. And again, Sinkar, first down Edmonton. 21-yard line.
I like what Dunnigan did that time. In other words, he had learned before that Parker's coming on that backside, and he started a little bit to the wide side of the field and come back and threw the ball.
Now lined up on the opposite side. He's going against Big Bill Stevenson. First down from the 21. The swing pass to Larry Cowan. Cowan, 10-yard line. First down, inside the 5.
Woo! What a football game that we've had the privilege of being here at. Wow.
18 yards for Larry Cowan. Lumsden, touchdown Edmonton.
You know, Dale, we've talked a lot about Jackie Parker and all of his nicknames. One of the nicknames that hasn't been used recently is the Mississippi Gambler. Does he go for 2?
No, Cutler's out there. He's going for the safe. He's going to room, tie it up. Dunnigan holding for Cutler, and we have a tie football game with 1:59 left. Cutler puts it deep. Big kick. Larry Crawford from the 2-yard line. Finds a big opening. Crawford brings it out to the 34.
Boy, that was an important return for the Lions.
Stu Hill making the tackle on Crawford.
Crawford returns the kickoff.
Al Wilson, the veteran center, is back in there after being shaken up. Ron Robinson on the receiving end of that DeWalt pass for the first down out at the 47.
Protect that football.
Going for Ned Armour. He has a couple of touchdowns tonight. Armour still on his feet. He's got speed too. And getting back into the play to make the tackle was Joe Holloman.
I'll tell you, that was great second effort. But, Jocko, how many times have you seen fumbles occur because of great second effort? They almost ripped that ball away from him.
51. Minute 15 left. The blitz is on. Swings it out to David Tulumu.
Oh, super run.
Look at this.
He is going all the way. There's a penalty.
Maybe.
There's a clip.
There's a clip. They'll bring it back. No touchdown.
There's a clip at the 43-yard line of the Eskimos. They're going to bring it back.
Looks like they're pointing at Fernandez.
Fernandez is incensed, but the crowd here at Commonwealth Stadium is on their feet.
A 51-yard scoring play wiped out by a clip.
I don't know if we can pick this up. Fernandez is not in the picture as yet.
Still up.
BC number 24.
That was Fernandez right at the bottom of the screen. You really didn't get a good look at it.
We might see it better here.
Nope. Turns it upfield.
There's Fernandez in the bottom right-handed portion of your screen.
Right there.
Oh, he does. He pushed
Pushes
it.
him from behind. That's right.
Back at the 44-yard line now. Down the middle, Ron Robinson makes the catch.
He held on to the football. Oh,
At the 47-yard line of Edmonton.
and he took a shot. 58 seconds remain.
DeWalt just hangs in there and is firing like you see DeWalt at his best. He is at his best receiver.
Here they come again.
Stu Hill made him step up, and he threw it too far. He just didn't get a chance to set up properly. Intended receiver Ron Robinson.
I'll tell you, they need another completion to put Luke Pasaglia in a position to try and kick a field goal.
Well, it's third down right now.
55? 54?
55.
He can hit it.
Yeah, he's kicked one 54 yards this year. Bancroft doing the holding. There's the kick from Pasaglia.
No.
And
Yes.
it made it!
Yes!
It just made it with 40 seconds left.
What a finish.
Louis Pasaglia with a 54-yard field goal. And BC now leads by 3.
That's right. It's not over. 39 seconds left.
Unbelievable.
Well,
We've
that's
seen
two
some
field
kicks this
goals
year.
that
J.T.
just got
Hay come on a 57-yarder on the second attempt there against Ottawa. And now this. What kickers in this league?
I don't know. There's some fans here at Commonwealth Stadium leaving, and I can't believe that.
I had a pretty good angle, Frank. They went 54 yards, 6 inches.
Matt Dunnigan's talking to Russ Berry about the time on the clock, and he's going to check with the official timekeeper now.
Edmonton from their own 35-yard line. They now trail by 3. Throws complete to Brian Fryer, and he's hit immediately. Dunnigan in a bit of trouble, throws complete. Brian Fryer again. Throws complete to Chris Woods, and he steps out of bounds with it at the 41-yard line of BC.
17 seconds remain.
16-yard gain.
How'd you like to be David Cutler right now?
Listen into that huddle.
Well, I tell you what, you couldn't be at a better football game than this. More excitement.
Dunnigan's now closing in on 400 yards passing. The draw play to Milson Jones. He stopped at the 39. 13 seconds left. Dunnigan, 23 of 39 for 398 yards.
Man Stadium, Montreal and Kentucky, great.
They keep it on the ground again. Larry Cowan using up time on the clock. And he gets out of bounds to stop it with 7 seconds left.
All right, Irene, this is it.
42-yard field goal is what we're looking at right here. David Cutler, who has not had a great year, as you heard Dale mention earlier, to make up for a lot of it right here.
But he's been 3 for 3 tonight, right?
Yep.
Yes, he has.
including a 44-yarder. This one will be from 42. If he hits it, this game will end in a tie. The kick, he missed it. Wide to the right. Last play of the ball game, and Dave Cutler pushes a 42-yard field goal attempt wide to the right. The only one he's missed tonight, and the BC Lions win it 34-32.
What a great football game.
Can you imagine how that man must feel?
The winning edge is to the kicker, right? Pasaglia did it.
Final score, the BC Lions 34, the Edmonton Eskimos 32. The coaches shake hands. We'll be back in just a moment.